All right, what is going on, everybody? Trade recap. I didn't make one yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm lazy. But we won yesterday as well, so I guess, what is it, Tuesday? So we've had two trading days this week, and we've won. We're starting the week off 2 for 2, which is pretty solid. And also, both trades were the same thing. So this trade recap is kind of like a 2-in-1. So let's talk about it. First of all, coming into the day. Why is my replay mode not working? Hello? Oh, I'm just a dumbass. That's what it is. Okay, so we had some Trump tweet at 6:45. This shit is crazy. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Gang, what? Son. So we made this big-ass wick off of that at 8:55, right? So we made this wick, and what happened right at 9:30? Well, right at 9:30, as you see, because the 9 o'clock candle closed, it became an intermediate high. We had this 30-minute gap, and then we have this high, so it was an intermediate high. I said in the daily bias tab, I drop this shit every single day, and I'm just always, like, for example, there was some news at 6:46 that made a 30-minute intermediate low, so if we can sweep that with an S&T and come back above, we're trying to inverse, I'll look for longs. Actually, the opposite ended up happening, where we went for the news high, and then we got shorts. I took that on live. Then, today, leaning bearish. We inversed an hourly to the downside, and now have a nice 30-minute intermediate high, right? So, I'd like to see an SMT and shorts off of that at open. There's also a data high from a Trump tweet. So I said I wanted to see an SMT. Remember AMD model, guys. I drill this, like, every single day with, my trade recaps, everything. The market will move in 3 ways. It'll accumulate, then it'll manipulate into liquidity, and then it'll distribute in the opposite direction. What are we doing pre-market here, guys? We're chopping. After we made the wick, we are chopping, and I'm like, listen, we're going to make our manipulation move, and we're going to hit this fucking high right at open. So what happens right at open? Let's go to the 30-second chart, because it happens so fast. Here's our wick. Boom. So there's our wick. Our wick absolutely shoots up and makes us an SMT because ES failed to hit that high. So now we have our accumulation, we have our manipulation, and now it's time to switch over to the 30-minute chart. What do you notice about the 30-minute chart here? There's a top wick, but there's no bottom wick. We need to make a bottom wick push. Here's the bottom wick right here, so we got to push below this candle. So what happens? We have our AMD, we have our S&T, we have our higher time frame liquidity. We get the entry model, which is the inverse. I hopped in the middle of this candle. My execution is going to be posted on Instagram and TikTok later today. But I hopped in, kind of chased a little bit, went for a 1-to-1, and as you can see, TP was smashed instantly. No drawdown on this trade, which is usually the story with most of my trades that win, is when I win very, very quickly. This day, however, was the fastest day of my trading that I can remember. So I'm pretty sure ever. Because we were done at 9:31:30. So I was basically on and off in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes max, which is awesome. So very, very, how can you not like that? AMD model, beautiful setup, guys. I drill this. I say this is the best model in the game. This is the model that I teach because there are some intricate, special ways to know which setups to fade, which setups to go with, how to know and predict them pre-market like I do, which is why, I teach it in the premium. It is a fucking money model, and now my students were able to catch this shit on their own. As you can see, took that shit. That was so money. We're just balling every single fucking day. So very, very money, very obvious trade, higher time frame to lower time frame, accumulation, manipulation, and then we distribute to the other side. And then as you can see, since then, we have been absolutely selling. My runners would have got stop break even, but holy fuck. Yeah, pretty easy. Quick day, very blessed, and on to tomorrow.